Good evening. It's not.
No, but people could be watching it any time.
Hello. Welcome to this mini-series called The West Wing and the Bible. I'm Batstone, that's Blackham, and we have been discussing the Bible as it is featured in the West Wing, because we like the West Wing. And we've made our way in discussions to Season 2, Season 2, Episode 7, called The Portland Trip. 1 minute 30, so we might have to stop this along the way. Let's see how we get on.
Boy, I could use a fresco.
You're gonna quote the Bible to me?
I didn't.
Really?
My point, which was
Josh is debating things, and he goes, "You're going to quote the Bible at me?"
Yeah, that's
He's
it.
so disgusted that someone might quote it. For two reasons. Number one, I think the guy who's quoting it is a homosexual, I think. So Josh thinks that's extra reason not to like the Bible.
And I think they often do this idea that because the Bible says that you shouldn't have homosexual practice, or it doesn't even say that, that word again is very part of the modern way of attaching identity to desires and things like that. But it just says don't behave in that way. So, yeah, in the background, there's always this idea, like the Bible hates people who have same-sex desires and wants to kill them all. And I think Josh's character genuinely believes that. And then, that was one point, but you were going to say he had another reason. But it's probably, the idea that you could learn how to, that you could get genuinely progressive morality from the Bible. In his mind, it's like, it's so regressive. It's dragging you back into poor ways of living. He's got that tremendously positive enlightenment. I mean, for us, even 25 years on from watching this, to have that level of confidence in a progressive enlightenment agenda, we're all a bit like, dude, that's fallen apart. That ain't happening now. Yeah. But it's kind of sweet to see that only 25 years ago, people still had that level of confidence in a progressive future.
Yeah. Further, if you read that Tom Holland book, is it Dominion?
Yeah.
He makes the case how much of the Western world's underpinning morality and stability comes from the Bible. So it's interesting that Josh utterly dismisses it whilst standing on a lot of the benefits from it. Yes?
Yeah.
No?
No, absolutely. And Glenn Scrivener did the one, The Air We Breathe, and he was bringing out similar things, that lots of even the progressive values that Josh might have about equality, justice, all these kind of things. Why does he think those things are so important? Because actually he's drawing from the Bible. Yeah, and Tom Holland's done that. Very good.
Yeah, Glenn Scrivener's book, The Air We Breathe, makes the case that we are disconnected from the foundations of sort of why we have morals, yet we still strangely hold to some morals, but we can't justify why.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to sit Josh down and say, again, what's your moral framework and why? Like, why anything? Where's it coming from? You don't think this of him, but a lot of Westerners would say the current morality is best lived out. You don't need the Bible, you don't need God. As long as you're not causing harm to anyone and you have consent, pretty much anything can go. Yeah. You think he's more aggressive than that. But before you get into that, there's an interesting study going around at the moment that I think your mate, Andrew Wilson, talks about in one of his books, that there's someone going around doing an interview asking Westerners, just regular Westerners on the street, if well, so he asked people on the street, if you go to a supermarket and buy a raw chicken, right, and you take it home and you have sex with it, is that wrong? Because he's consenting and he's not causing harm to anyone. And this study is documenting like people who squirm at the thought of the question because they know it's wrong, but it's quite under the category that they've said is the highest axiom of morality. I guess the point there is, what right do we have to say that consent and not causing harm, is the highest axiom of morality. So, you think he's more aggressive than that?
Yeah. I think, like, now, people have kind of felt like, what is it that we can, like, build a morality on? And they've been reduced to try to get consent and not harm, unless the person wants to be harmed. And literally, I've had that sort of discussion with people. And so you're left with such a tiny moral anchor that what can it hold? But when we go back to Josh, we're reading back onto him the kind of utter disillusionment of 2023 and 2022 or whatever. But I think he's confident with this enlightenment sense of, I know what's reasonable, what's rational, what's progressive. I know what's best for people. And even if they don't vote for it, it doesn't matter. I still know what's best. And it's right for me to use political machination and all sort of that to bring about this better future. And anyone who disagrees with me politically, he thinks they're kind of, he kind of totally thinks they're fools. Like, even in this clip, I think it's going to be where he's going to be, why aren't you even a Democrat, like, with us, kind of thing? Like, what's wrong with you? It's obvious that we know how to run the country. And that's not actually, like, lots of people on different political parties can have that kind of total can't people just see what is so obvious to me? I know what people need that's good for them. Now, I do feel 25 years on, people are a little bit more shaken about having that sort of enlightenment, progressive, positive confidence. But I do think it's sweet seeing Josh. Like, at the time, it was more annoying. Now, it's almost like, oh, isn't that lovely that he was like that?
And I wonder what he in real life, because he's quite political in real life, and Aaron Sorkin, I wonder what they would write now if they did it all again.
Oh, they couldn't do it now, because that level of confidence in political process. Now, like, if you think about the modern... People are like, they don't believe that elections are right, and they want... But at that time, soon after that, I think there was like... Was it when George Bush got elected and it was all like very about looking at little bits of paper to see what people voted for in Florida? And at that time people were like, oh, it's all fixed. It's all fixed. It should not be George Bush. It was, I think, Al Gore was the alternative. And people even then began to be unsure of the political process of democracy and stuff. And then since then, it's been an absolute sense of none of that person shouldn't be president. This person isn't the real thing. Da, 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 da. So even the political process has disintegrated a lot since that time. And just that feeling like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Al Gore invent the internet?
No.
So that's the midterms. We'll end clip one there.